The latest on the war on crime. First tonight on our news, live at 7. The Davis administration's anti-gang bill proposes a 25-year sentence for gang activity. Find out the hefty fine also associated. Push for greater transparency. The Organization for Responsible Governance lobbies for greater autonomy for the Public Disclosure Commission. Also, breaking point. The hazardous conditions leading to a protest by staff at the Registrar General's office this morning. Then in our news at 7:30, hundreds of millions owed. Government demands Port Authority payment amid allegations of unpaid dues. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. Gang involvement could get you up to 25 years in prison or a $100,000 fine if convicted. That's according to a new anti-gang bill tabled in Parliament Wednesday. It's all said to be a part of a commitment by Prime Minister Philip Davis earlier this year amid a spike in homicides. While the opposition says it agrees stiffer penalties are needed, members say government lack a well-rounded approach to the problem. Anthony McDermott has the details.
The Davis administration tabling a new anti-gang bill that states that a person convicted of gang involvement would be liable to a $100,000 fine and a 25-year prison sentence. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard says there is a need for harsher penalties.
We believe that there is a need for penalties that will send the strongest possible message to would-be criminals.
Gang members found guilty of one or more of the 15 offenses in the bill would be subject to the specified penalty. Gang activities listed in the legislation include recruiting someone to join a gang, committing an offense for the financial benefit of a gang, instructing a gang member to commit a serious offense, or threatening someone in retaliation, among other things. Under the Act, if someone dies as a result of gang activity, the person responsible for the killing would face life in prison. The bill also allows for a prison term for people who harbor gang leaders or members, including parents of children engaged in the activity. This carries a prison term of up to 20 years. The person who commits retaliation against someone, their relative, friends, associates, or property would face up to 20 years in prison. Pintard believes the legislation will need a well-rounded approach.
Where we believe the government is challenged is that the government is not properly coordinating all of the stakeholders in our community, working with the faith-based organization in a productive way. If you're going to meet with faith-based organizations, what are the outcomes? I believe one of the outcomes should be the development of community centers.
Now, in the fight against crime, Pintard believes the government needs to employ more preventative methods to deter people from criminal activity.
We need preventative programs on the ground to channel the talents of our young people into cultural, athletic, academic pursuits. Opportunities have to be created so that they are gainfully employed.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks for that, Berthany. Meanwhile, the Organization for Responsible Governance, ORG, emphasizing the need for transparency in government after Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell said he was irritated after he was contacted by journalists asking if he met the deadline for public disclosure. Mitchell went a step further to say he thought it was none of the journalists' business in response to questions on the matter. His comments came as he contributed to debate in Parliament on Wednesday. ORG Executive Director Matt Albury says public disclosure law should have more independence to allow for greater transparency.
The opportunity to change that in law, I think, is crucial, and I think the citizens would want to understand what the implications of the statements recently are, so that they can make their own decisions on what do you want. And so, if we're looking at a revised law, it should have more independence for the Commission to make determinations. It should have the capacity for the public to understand when things have been breached, and it should have mechanisms in place that ensure enforcement. And that, then again, doesn't undermine things like public trust, it doesn't undermine things like transparency, it doesn't undermine things like accountability.
The Public Disclosure Act, which is a legal anti-corruption mechanism, mandates every senator and member of parliament provide a declaration of assets, income, and liabilities up to December 31st by March 1st to the Public Disclosure Commission. Under Section 5 of the Act, the declaration is to include a report on the assets, income, and liabilities of the declarant, his spouse, and his children. However, over the years, some public figures have shown complete disregard for meeting the legal requirements under the Act. Aubrey says public disclosure is a contract between the public and public officials.
It's an ongoing system whereby every year they get an accounting for this is how that person's finances were. So it avoids and identifies any potential conflicts of interest. And the upside of that is it builds the capacity of the citizen to be better informed, to feel more trustworthy of the system, to feel that and make a better assessment of the person that they elected, the one they want to continue representing them in a subsequent election. From the government side, though, it also creates a space where you have all assurance that your information is out there.
Tensions reaching a boiling point this morning, prompting workers at the Registrar General's office to protest. They were joined by Bahamas Public Services Union as they protested what they claim are unsafe and hazardous conditions. Marlena Leonard is following this.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough!
Frustrated employees gathered outside the Shirley Street office to voice their concerns, prompting fears of a standoff that could impact essential services. Some of them included delayed promotions and hazardous working conditions. The Registrar General's office is responsible for registering vital events such as births, marriages, and deaths, issuing corresponding legal certificates, and maintaining accurate records. For months, workers claim the one elevator in the entire building has been out of commission, forcing them to climb multiple flights of stairs every day.
Our work entails dealing with files. Okay? This office is not the typical government office. We have to climb stairs with the files in order to do our work. Imagine you sitting in your law firm, these ladies have shopping bags of files and boxes toting upstairs to accommodate you in your law firm.
They also claim there's mold in the building.
We have mold in this building. We have people getting sick, constantly having sinus problems. We have persons always being off because they're sick because of the mold.
President of the Bahamas Public Services Union, Kimsley Ferguson, says he has made several attempts to speak to leadership there, but according to him, it was unsuccessful. That said, he has this warning to the government.
We would have received issues and concerns prior to that, but we came here to see the registrar maybe about a month and a half ago, but she was engaged and we weren't able to have a discussion. It is important to address these situations. Other than that, we are promising the government services are going to be suspended.
Our News attempted to reach out to officials from the Registrar General's department, but were unsuccessful up to airtime. Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
All right, thanks for that, Marlena. We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kendin, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. We are watching a frontal boundary that's moving across the northwest Bahamas, really moving through the capital, should be into the central Bahamas. So we have partly cloudy, mostly cloudy skies outside our studios. It is a little bit on the breezy side. 75 degrees is your current temperature. Your winds out of the north-northwest at 15 miles per hour. It feels like temperature is at 74. Current temperatures around the islands right now, it's a cool 69 in Freeport, 70 over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We pick up 73, Alistown, Bimini, Nicholstown, Andros. Over in Great Harbor Key, you guys are 71. Governor's Harbor, 76. Central Bahamas, 81s. You can tell where that front is. 81 in Kemps Bay, 80 Georgetown, 81 in Deadman's Key. We pick up 78 in Arthurstown, Cat Island, Coburn Townsend, Salvador, and into the southeast Bahamas. 81 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Abraham's Bay as well. Pick up 80s, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, Acklands. Over in Providenciales, you are 82. And into the deep south, Matthew Town, where you guys are 83 at this hour. Satellite radar composite, we are monitoring this frontal boundary that's pushing towards the south and east. Showers and isolated thunderstorms with that frontal boundary as it continues its trek in that direction. But the front is falling apart. A couple of those showers still lingering to the west of Andros. We could see 1 or 2 more showers across the central Bahamas as the front gets into that area. But behind the front, we're going to see some very nice weather and some lovely temperatures for the next couple of days. Looks like we're going to enjoy this into the weekend. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Thanks, Greg. And still to come on Our News, former Cabinet Minister Renwood Wells discharged from hospital in Florida. See the warm welcome on his return home. Plus, farming goes high-tech Discover how high-tech solutions are transforming the agricultural industry when our news returns.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
No store saves you more than Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Cremo Land Whole Milk, half gallon, $2.99. Coca-Cola Sodas assorted 6-pack, 12-ounce, $3.69. U.S. Choice Boneless Chuck Roast or Steak, $8.99 per pound. English Cheddar Cheese, $3.99 per pound. Rosette Potatoes, 5 pounds, $4.99. Saving you more. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
We exposed 5 strangers to different KFC menus to see if the flavor can enhance any moment. And at the first bite, the party began. We repeated the experiment during the day, during business hours, on weekends, with sunshine, with rain. It's confirmed any moment can be a KFC moment.
Since 1974, the National Insurance Board has been an income replacement safety net.
But to ensure our future remains secure, starting July 1st, 2024, contribution rates will increase and will continue to be shared by employers and employees.
We will be sharing more information in the upcoming months. But for now, get more details on nibrateincrease.com.
Invest in tomorrow today with NIB.
Because together, we can ensure our financial future.
Some good news to report tonight as former Cabinet Minister Renwood Wells has been discharged from hospital in Florida and is now back home. Wells was hospitalized at Princess Margaret Hospital last week and later airlifted to South Florida this past Sunday for additional testing. Wells was greeted by family, friends, and well-wishers, including former Deputy Prime Minister Desmond Bannister as he returned home this morning. He says he's grateful to his team of doctors.
I'm incredibly grateful to the medical professionals at PMH, who also took fantastic care of me, and the medical professionals in Florida as well. And while I was going through the various tests that were required, and all of the tests came back within normal parameters. So I'm incredibly grateful to the good Lord for that. And I'm happy that I'm fit, and I got medically cleared, so I'm able to get back to work and doing the things that I love most.
And farming set to get high tech thanks to a donation from the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. The organization donated 4 cutting-edge drones to the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources. But what will the drones do? Well, they're expected to help enhance land surveying for both the marine and forestry sectors, as well as keep an eye on land resources across the nation. Director of Marine Spatial Information Solutions, Dr. Kim Baldwin, made the presentation to the ministry on behalf of the FAO. She says along with the 3 drones, or with the drones that is, comes a 3-month training program.
I'll be coming to the Bahamas and working with the ministry, training and setting up and implementing a drone unit here in the Bahamas. This drone training program is actually has been implemented in, this year we're doing a total of 5 Caribbean countries, and we will be working over the 3-month period to train drone pilots and data analysts. We're learning how to use the drone technology to create 3D maps and models of the environment. We will be learning over the 3-month period how to go out and capture data safely and effectively using international commercial standards, how to handle and manage this data as well.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as Taiwanese workers begin demolition of quake-damaged buildings after a deadly 7.2 magnitude earthquake. Plus, the Israeli army spokesperson announces completion of an investigative report on the death of 8 workers in a recent Gaza airstrike. And Guyana condemns Venezuela's law annexing the disputed Essequibo region, accusing the president of breaking international law and personal attacks. The story when our news returns.
If you want a real nice, tasty Bahamian dish, there's a place on the fish fry you can't resist. You can watch the sunset out on the beautiful deck. Eat a juicy conch salad made by the contact technician. When they ask me where I yearn by the concrete. When they ask me where I yearn by Goldie. When they ask me where I yearn by the concrete. When they ask me where I yearn by Goldie's. Arawaki's king of town. We 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 yearn by Goldie's. Goldie's Punk House, Arawaki, 325-4300. That's Goldie's Punk House, Arawaki, 325-4300.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
I get it. You can order stuff on wimauto.com and pay for it online.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Online is just the first step.
They have next weekday delivery in Nassau Monday to Friday.
What if I don't live in Nassau?
Wimauto.com will send it to the mailbox.
What if I don't want nobody knowing where I live?
They have a store.
What if I don't want to come inside because I don't like air conditioning?
They have a drive-thru.
If you love wimauto.com so much, why don't you just marry it?
If Wim Auto starts selling fries, we're gonna have to reassess this entire relationship.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Workers commenced the demolition of quake-damaged buildings in Taiwan on Thursday following a 7.2 magnitude earthquake that claimed 9 lives. Excavators cleared rubble while workers drilled and sprayed water on tilted structures. A local mayor emphasized government efforts to raise awareness and mobilize resources. The quake struck Wednesday, disrupting daily routines in the epicenter of the eastern country. Israeli army spokesperson Daniel Hagari said on Thursday that an investigator's report into the killing of aid workers in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza on Monday is now ready. He said the report was shown to the chief of staff and will be presented to the prime minister, the defense minister, and others before being shown to the World Central Kitchen, which lost 7 staff members in the attack. Hagari added it will be made public in a clear, transparent manner and that will happen soon. Israel said earlier on Thursday it would adjust tactics in the Gaza war after killing the aid workers in what the military has acknowledged was a major mistake. Mexico evacuated 34 nationals from Haiti amidst escalating gang violence. The Mexican Navy confirmed the special order earlier this week, relocating them via helicopter from the Dominican Republic Embassy in Port-au-Prince to a Navy ship bound for Mexico. The move was prompted by armed groups' illegal control of Haiti's international airport. With political uncertainty and gang dominance gripping Haiti, foreign departures have surged. Now, the ongoing conflict has resulted in thousands of casualties and widespread displacement, including attacks on police stations and the suspension of commercial flights. And Guyana has condemned Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's enactment of a law to incorporate the disputed Guyana-Essequibo region into Venezuela. Maduro signed the law after a controversial referendum. In response, Guyana is accusing Maduro of breaking international law and personal attacks against President Dr. Mohamed Ifran Ali. Now, the Guyanese government emphasized the need for dialogue and adherence to international agreements. It asserts that Venezuela must resolve the dispute through the International Court of Justice and calls for restraint to prevent further escalation. Still to come in our news today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was April 4th. Then in our news at 7:30, a family seeks support after the tragic death of former Deputy House Speaker Don Saunders. We'll tell you the GoFundMe initiated by his foster father. Plus, the 30-day notice for the Port Authority to pay up after government claims the privately owned company managing the city of Freeport owes hundreds of millions in unpaid dues. When our news returns.
Hey, big man, the phone dead. What you mean the phone dead? So we can't call Domino's now?
Y'all know it ain't that serious, right? Just head over to Domino's242.com and you can order your pizza, choose where you want it and how you want it. And you know what? While you're there, create your own pizza profile. Save your favorite and your last order so your next order can be quicker. Plus, you can track how far your delivery is. So chill. Enjoy your game, fellas.
Since 1974, the National Insurance Board has been an income replacement safety net.
But to ensure our future remains secure, starting July 1st, 2024, contribution rates will increase and will continue to be shared by employers and employees.
We will be sharing more information in the upcoming months. But for now, get more details on nibrateincrease.com.
Invest in tomorrow today with NIB.
Because together, we can ensure our financial future.
Hey, you going with me to the store?
No, that's straight. My boy got me.
And then cool.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Welcome back to Our News. To find out what happened on this day in Bahamian history, be sure and head over to ournews.bs. Well, celebrated on March 21st, the United Nations recognizes World Water Day as part of its Global Water for Peace campaign. In tonight's Sustainability First report, we're taking a look at how one local water efficiency partner is teaching the next generation about the importance of the commodity.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
This World Water Day, Mia Bahamas, an efficiency-oriented water operator and part of a global company with a presence in 10 countries, visited the children of St. Anne's Primary School to raise awareness of the importance of World Water Day. In 2012, Mia's assessment of water systems across New Providence uncovered a loss of up to 6.87 million gallons of non-revenue water daily. That year, the Water and Sewerage Corporation signed a partnership with Mia Bahamas, who says there has since been a reduction in the amount of non-revenue water loss. Mia Bahamas leak manager Rohan Thomas says the school visits are an effort to reach the new generation. During the presentation, St. Anne students took part in fun activities about conserving water through stopping leaks and learned about the importance of access to clean water. As for whether or not it got through to the kids, just take a look at their reaction. Reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Marlena Leonard.
So much for that story, Marlena. If you want to see it again and for all of today's top stories, remember you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia?
Thanks so much, Ken. Well, coming up tonight, a family seeks support after the tragic death of former Deputy House Speaker Don Saunders, plus the 30-day notice for the Port Authority to pay up. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30. In life, they were his brothers. In death, they are helping to raise funds for the family of former Member of Parliament Don Saunders. Plus 30 days to pay $300 million owed. The government and Grand Bahama Port Authority are at it again. The story straight ahead. Plus a viral video of a luxury yacht's anchor damage on a coral reef sparks an investigation. And later, holding her own in a male-dominated world. The full story when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
We're here in the beautiful Treasure Key, Albuquerque, at the annual Winter's Residence Reception. This is a special time of year. I love this time of year when we do these receptions. We come together as not only Bahamians, but our friends from abroad, our winter residents, our second homeowners. They come out, they have a place that they could speak to each other and have a good time. Also, it's important for them to be able to see what it is to be Bahamian and immerse themselves in our culture. You know, tourism is everyone's business, not just Bahamians, but all of those that live here in the islands of the Bahamas, and particularly tonight here in the beautiful Treasure Key in the Albuquerque.
Well, as someone who's come here for over 30 years, and I've come to all of these events since you started, it's the one event every year that I look forward to. And it's not just me, it's all of the second homeowners and all of the local guests that we have here. Everyone marks this on their calendar as a special event, and I can't say thank you enough to the Department of Tourism and all those people that are responsible for organizing it. It's just a really special event that recognizes the cooperation between second homeowners, Department of Tourism, and our guests. And we thank you for that.
Welcome to our news. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Following the tragic and shocking murder of former Deputy House Speaker, parliamentarian and Deputy Chairman of the Free National Movement, Don Saunders, his foster father created a GoFundMe to help his family. Well, our Joshua Williams spoke with two of Don's closest friends and filed this report.
We often hear the biblical text that it is more blessed to give than receive. And tonight, the family of former Tall Pines MP Don Saunders is requesting financial assistance in the wake of his tragic murder. With mounting bills and other expenses left behind, two of his closest friends, who are part of a brotherhood mentored by Archdeacon Keith Cartwright, are making this appeal.
He leaves a wife who unfortunately does not benefit from the health level that most people have. She's unable to get insurance and she's been hospitalized on several occasions. He leaves behind a daughter who's in university, who was a national athlete for the Bahamas, a son who is going into his final year into college, and he has university ahead of him.
Saunders, who was gunned down outside of a club in Gambia Village last Wednesday, served as Deputy House Speaker, Member of Parliament for Tall Pines, and Deputy Chairman of the Free National Movement. Having made contributions to both the public and private sectors, the family is appealing for Bahamians to do what Don would have done for them.
For one who dedicated his life to service, I think that this gives us an opportunity now to show our thanksgiving and our support to someone who was selfless in his life living.
The GoFundMe link that's been created by Don's foster father, Archdeacon Cartwright, has been widely circulated over social media, prompting skepticism over its validity, the family putting those claims to rest.
It's legit, Archdeacon Cartwright is a man who gives, and there are countless number of persons throughout the Bahamas, I'm talking about throughout the entire Bahamas, who can attest to the fact that he gives and his name is attached to it.
Now, as of now, nearly $10,000 has been raised. For this, the family is grateful.
Those who have given, we thank you, and it shows that as a people, we understand the plight of those who suffer.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. Well, some shocking news as it's been revealed that government is demanding the Port Authority to pay up. It is alleged that the Davis administration claims a privately owned company that manages the city of Freeport owes them hundreds of millions of dollars. The saga continues between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. This time, government claims the GBPA owes them $300 million for the last 5 fiscal years. A local daily reports the port only has 30 days to pay the money. Now, the tumultuous relationship between the two entities has been in this state for some time now. This as the Davis administration has blamed the Port Authority for failing to complete its duties as regulated by the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. The GBPA has responded publicly on multiple occasions, saying it is disheartening to hear people say negative comments about the GBPA for things that they're not responsible for. And the president says he believes some do not understand the GBPA's role and function. But it appears as if the back and forth was dying down, as just last week, in an exclusive interview with Our News, the port president, while announcing that the GBPA opened a new office in New Providence, said he hoped that their presence in the capital would help further their relationship with government.
I was so pleased to hear Deputy Prime Minister state on Saturday past at the Grand Bahama Chamber event, and he stressed the fact that partnerships with key stakeholders is very, very important moving forward.
Leader of the Free National Movement and Marco City Member of Parliament Michael Pintard has been very vocal about this ongoing issue. He says both entities must have discussions versus a public row.
That can only erode investor confidence in Grand Bahama and create uncertainty.
The Grand Bahama MP says the Prime Minister and his colleagues are often not on the same page about the matter, and while he disagrees with the Davis administration approach, he did have this to say.
The government should be a pivotal part of all of this discussion and the reconfiguration, but not in the manner that they are doing it now. This is wrong. The Davis-Cooper administration is doing more harm than good in the approach. The Prime Minister is giving an impression that he is engaged in a hostile takeover, and it is flat out wrong.
Now, we reached out to the office of the Prime Minister for a comment, but we were told they will get back to us. We also reached out to the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and the President said that a response is forthcoming. Well, overcast skies and light showers across the capital today as temperatures remained in the lower 80s. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios. 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. That frontal boundary is pushing through us right now. It's a bit on the breezy side. Your winds are now out of the north-northwest behind the front, 15 miles per hour. Your field strike temperature, a comfortable 74 degrees. Satellite radar composite showing that frontal boundary pushing into the northwest Bahamas earlier today. Some showers and isolated thunderstorms along that boundary. The boundary is falling apart, so we're going to see some residual showers hanging around. That front should be into the central Bahamas tonight and pushing into the southeast Bahamas by tomorrow. Behind that, high pressure will build in, and we're looking for some very nice conditions for the remainder of the week. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, a luxury yacht drops its anchor on a reef, sparking outrage. We have the full story straight ahead. Plus, what will the remainder of 2024 hold for our tourism sector? And later, we always hear about the need for good customer service, but could it really be the key to rebound Grand Bahamas economy? And that's all coming up when our news returns.
At Cartwright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Cartwright members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Cartwright, where membership truly has its privileges.
I get it. You can order stuff on wimauto.com and pay for it online.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Online is just the first step.
They have next weekday delivery in Nassau, Monday to Friday.
What if I don't live in Nassau?
Wimauto.com will send it to the mailbox.
What if I don't want nobody knowing where I live?
They have a store.
What if I don't want to come inside because I don't like air conditioning?
They have a drive-thru.
If you love wimauto.com so much, why don't you just marry it?
If Wim Auto starts selling fries, we're gonna have to reassess this entire relationship.
Okay, one.
We exposed 5 strangers to different KFC menus to see if the flavor can enhance any moment. And at the first bite, the party began. We repeated the experiment during the day, during business hours, on weekends, with sunshine, with rain. It's confirmed, any moment can be a KFC moment.
The Department of Environmental Planning and Protection is now assessing coral reef damage allegedly caused by a yacht anchor last week. This as the yacht charter company in question says their captain anchored in a permitted zone. Our Marlena Leonard takes a closer look.
Bahamas first, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
Last week, divers and environmental NGOs were outraged after seeing shocking videos allegedly showing a yacht anchor dragging along reefs in southern New Providence near the Clifton area. Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Rihanna Neely-Murphy, tells us multiple dives will take place in the assessment process.
The assessments are ongoing. We did see the videos, and we did note in the reports received into the office that a number of reef building corals have been damaged, and we're looking into rehabilitating those corals.
But what are the consequences of being found to have caused reef damage?
Fines associated with reef damage can range up to $25,000 under the new regime that we have before the Cabinet and the House of Assembly right now. And so once those are approved, and we expect that they will be approved before the end of the month, that we will be able to act on the new fine regime. that we have in place.
Our News reached out to Burgess, the charter company of the yacht in question, who provided this statement saying the area was free of anchoring restrictions, mooring buoys, or markings, going on to say the captain followed local maritime regulations and that the anchorage is not flagged as a dive site, nor does it have any restrictions, including the presence of a live coral reef. Some advocates, including the Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation, are saying now is the time to implement more anchoring regulations around New Providence. On that, Dr. Neely Murphy says,
we will have to surely communicate with the private sector, liaise with the Port Department, which is their jurisdiction, to identify areas that are of concern for us for conservation.
Reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Marlena Leonard.
All right, thanks for that, Marlena. Well, as the first quarter of 2024 comes to a close, there's been many projections and questions about the future of the Bahamian economy for the rest of the year. Just last week, the Bahamas National Statistical Institute released its preliminary GDP estimates for 2023. According to the Ministry of Finance, nominal GDP increased by more than 9%, and real GDP increased by nearly 3%. The Institute's report attributes to economic growth to the tourism and construction sectors. As we now move into a new quarter of 2024, during our monthly sit-down interview with RF Bank and Trust, Vice President and Group Head of Investment David Slatter said this quarter and the remainder of the year will prove exactly how resilient the country's tourism sector is.
Because the U.S. consumer, especially if you're dealing with lower and middle income citizens of the U.S., they've really overextended themselves as far as credit card debt and consumer debt. And you're seeing that in the growing rate of credit card delinquencies and consumer loan delinquencies in the U.S. Also, if you look at the interest expense as a burden on the U.S. consumer, interest on mortgage debt, but interest on non-mortgage debt is growing incredibly rapidly. So unfortunately, I think, for many U.S. consumers, they're in for a rude awakening when suddenly the bill is due. And that will spill into the tourism sector as well. So that would be a negative outlook for the economy. Now, I'm not saying it's doom and gloom. I'm just saying let's be realistic with our expectations. If the reality exceeds expectations, great. But don't expect 4% and plan accordingly, and then turns out to be 1.5 or 1%. You're going to be in trouble.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When Our News comes back from the break, here why the Grand Bahama Port Authority is facilitating a customer service training for Grand Bahamians.
Coming up in sports, Carifta athletes welcomed back home to Grand Bahama, and a big night for DeAndre Ayton in the NBA.
Plus cooler weather conditions on this Thursday evening. Greg is back with your extended weather forecast right after this quick break. Stay with us.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
The only way today you're going to double the size of your company is get twice as productive as you were 3 years ago.
So when we make an AI system, it seems like it's objective, it seems like it's smarter than us, but in reality, it actually is going to reflect in scale all the harms that we see in the world today.
Governments, regional blocs, and other multilateral institutions must show that they are willing to use regulatory levers to limit emissions.
decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
This is our news. Welcome back. Carifta track and field athletes from Grand Bahama return to the nation's second city. Here now with our sports presented by 10th year seniors is Ronaldo Dorset. Ronaldo?
Thanks, Italia, and welcome to our sports presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Carifta celebrations are underway in Grand Bahama as several of the country's elite junior athletes returned home following their second place finish in Grenada.
Overall, I would say congratulations to all the athletes for very, very determined and resilient performances, and I expect them to do even better in the latter part of the season.
Joshua Williams and Shamar Davis were two of the highlights from the Grand Bahama contingent. Williams won gold in both the under-17 boys high jump and long jump, while Shamar Davis won bronze in the under-20 boys high jump.
It feels good because I worked hard all season, but now I have bigger goals ahead of me now. I have a World Juniors coming up in August, so I'm going to try to make that team and probably bring home a next medal for the Bahamas. This experience was good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the competition, even though I came third place. It was good.
DeAndre Ayton was a force in the Portland Trail Blazers lineup in March and has continued that momentum this month. Ayton notched his 28th double-double last night in the Blazers' 89-86 win over the Charlotte Hornets at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. He shot 12 for 22 from the field, finished with a team-high 24 points, and grabbed 16 rebounds. Through 8 games in March, Ayton averaged 23.4 points and 13.1 rebounds per game. In 2 games thus far in April, he's averaged 20 points and 12 boards per game. Must be the new mattress. Infielder Dante Stewart has had an immediate impact on the Memphis Tigers baseball program and led the team to its biggest win of the season. Stewart finished 3 for 4 with a run, an RBI, and a stolen base in the Tigers' 9-4 win over SEC powerhouse Ole Miss. The Tigers improved to 14-17 on the season. Stewart now leads the American Athletic Conference with 14 doubles. In 22 games thus far, he's hitting .328 with 4 home runs, 25 RBI, and 33 runs scored. Jonquil Jones continues to dominate during Inner Mongolia's playoff run in the Women's Chinese Basketball Association. Jones finished with 34 points and 9 boards in her team's 76-54 win over Jiangsu last night in Game 1 of the semifinals. Game 2 will be on April 6 as Inner Mongolia looks to close it out and advance to the finals. In the playoffs, Jones is averaging 28.3 points and 9.7 rebounds per game, while her team has won by an average of over 20 points per game. The Bahamas Baseball Association is once again on a talent search, this time in the 12U division. 12U national team tryouts will begin tomorrow, April 5th, and will continue April 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium from 6 to 8 p.m. All players are eligible but must be no older than 12 for the remainder of 2024. The 12U team will travel to the Dominican Republic to compete in the Caribbean Cup May 4th to 11th. The BBA recently returned to international play last month in the 15U World Cup Pan Am qualifiers. That'll do it for our sports presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, meet able woman Marine Martinique Thompson serving as a medic on the HMBS Bahamas. Our Joshua Williams shares her story on patrol, plus cloudy skies with light showers in the capital on this Thursday. Greg is back with your weather details right after this break.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Calling all pizza lovers. Marco's Pizza just got hotter. Head into any Marco's location and try our new Hot Honey Magnifico Pizza, featuring our Old World pepperoni, drizzled with Mike's Hot Honey. Available for a limited time only. Get a large Hot Honey and enjoy this sweet and savory goodness for only $18.50. Make the right choice and order one today at marcospizzabahamas.com. No one makes a pizza quite like we do.
If life was as smooth as Heineken Silver.
HBS. Nice. Cute. Hi, oh my god.
Who's that?
That's my old roommate. I've completely forgotten her name.
Oh.
Is it Amy or Anna? Is it Charlotte? Maybe it's Charlotte. Hello.
Nina, have a silver.
Oh, it's not Charlotte. Nina.
Heineken Silver. Surprisingly smooth. Try it now for a less bitter, smooth and refreshing taste.
Sorry, I've totally forgotten your name.
Welcome back to our news. It's been said that good customer service is one of the most important keys to success. Over in Grand Bahama, the Grand Bahama Port Authority's Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau is recognizing the importance of that as they recently relaunched their My Grand Bahama customer service training campaign. A number of GBPA employees were a part of the first training session held at the Sir Charles Haywood Library. Well, Chief Investment Officer Derek Newbold says the customer service training that was first launched some 6 years ago was suspended due to Hurricane Dorian. He shares the training focuses on educating individuals who are on the front line of businesses that interact with visitors.
It's free of charge. You know, usually initiatives that we put up there in the public domain for our licensees and the broader business community, it's always free of charge. That's one of the great things about the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the benefits that we bring to our licensees. And also, given the level of investments that are currently taking place in Freeport, you know, it's extremely important for us to reiterate the importance of good customer service and how it could impact the visitor experience or prospective investor experience, either negatively or positively.
And officials confirm there will be more training sessions available in the future. As for a time and a date, that information will be provided at a later time. Program Coordinator Deidre Lundy Rhodes says the 4-hour sessions will focus on a variety of customer service topics.
We're going to dive deep into not just the external customer service, but we're also going to be diving into the internal customer service. So we will be training managers as well, business owners as well. We're going to be teaching them the different systems that they may need to submit or implement to create in order to have a better business flow so that it can then flow out into the external customer service.
All right, well, not so nice weather conditions on this Thursday, but things are beginning to cool down. Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks again, Natalia. Welcome back, everybody, for our final check at weather. We are monitoring a frontal boundary that's moving through the northwest and portions of the central Bahamas as we speak. That frontal boundary passed through the capital earlier this afternoon. We see some isolated showers, possible isolated thunderstorms still with the front, but it is falling apart, and we're expecting some residual showers to hang around the central Bahamas. High pressure is building behind the front. We're looking for some very nice conditions as well as some slightly cooler temperatures for the balance of the weekend into the weekend. So it's going to be a nice end of the week and beginning of next week. Taking a look at our future forecast, mentioned that frontal boundary now moving through the northwest and central Bahamas, really falling apart. A couple isolated showers once again possible across the central Bahamas through Friday, and then by Saturday we expect that frontal boundary to exit the area. Nice dry air mass will be moving across us. Lovely conditions expected during the end of the week. Boating forecast. Small craft. Use some caution across the northwest Bahamas. Your winds will be northwesterly at 15 knots. They will be gusting high at times. Seas running 3 to 6 feet over open waters. Low tide is at 11:07 tonight. The high tide taking place at 5:27 in the morning. For the central and southeast Bahamas, those winds ahead of the front will be out of the southwest, but they will quickly shift towards the west and northwest tomorrow afternoon, 10 to 15 knots, seas running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, lovely conditions Friday and Saturday. Couple of small showers expected where the front boundary is going to be falling apart. But looks like we're going to enjoy these nice conditions into early next week. And then we see another frontal boundary possibly by Wednesday. So we stick some showers in there for that time. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night and stay safe, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the majority of the crews stationed on a Royal Bahamas Defense Force vessel are men, but there are some women who also serve, like able woman Marine Martinique Thompson, who's tasked with looking after the health of her fellow Marines. Well, our Joshua Williams had a chance to speak with her during his time on patrol with the RBDF and has this report. Let's take a look.
We're still dominant on the boat, even though it's just us three. We're still dominant, but it's hard, but the females, we got this. We run the ship.
Able woman Marine Martinique Thompson is the heart of the HMBS Bahamas. She's a medic on board the ship, a duty she carries out with pride.
Just to make sure me, myself, and my crew are well. You know, every day, you cannot predict what can happen, because one day we could have a good day, then the next day can be a bad day. So every day, you know, I make sure I encourage them about safety, and if there's anything that they need, they can always come to me for help.
And as the RBDF continues its mandate in the south to protect our borders, in times when they do come in contact with illegal migrants, it's a one-woman job.
You know, we had the men and the women separated. So on our comms out here, medic to the bow, medic to the aft, so I was running like back and forth from one end of the ship to the next. So it was rough, but I did it and I was proud of myself. You know, my comrades told me that they was very proud of me.
But the greatest challenge, Martinique says, is spending months at a time away from her 12-year-old daughter.
It's been rough sometimes because, you know, I have my good days where I'd be like, okay, I'm doing this for her, and then there'll be days that I miss her. And then, like, when I do have a chance to talk to her, she'll be crying on the phone, like, when you're coming home. So it does get emotional for me sometimes, so I just pray every day for strength that I come out here in one piece and I just want to go back home in one piece to her.
Being one of 3 women on board amidst a crew of 60, Thompson shares that they have no fear and can do the job just as well as the men.
The men, they do give us our respect on the boat, I must say. They do give us our utmost respect, even though they think that they're stronger than us, but we always let them know that we're stronger than them.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Great report. So inspirational. Thanks so much, Josh. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.